I bought this cheap $3,000 broken down Chevy and turned it from this to this. And today I'm going to show you exactly what it cost me all in one video. Let's break it down. For starters, I pulled this thing out of some dude's driveway after it was sitting for many years. It's a 1982 C3 Corvette which had the best body style from any car in the 80s. Even though it didn't run, it already had a 5.7 swapped into it, so it made it worth buying. For 3,000 bucks, it had tons of spider webs, tree droppings, and filth in every crack and crevice. After cleaning it up with a vacuum in my bare hands, it was time to dig in and get this thing running. After testing out a buffing pad and some compound that I already had laying around, I realized we could buff this paint and get it looking a whole lot better. Might not be perfect, but it's a step in the right direction. First things first, I swapped in a new $140 battery and threw $10 worth of gas in to dilute any of the old stuff. I then went for a solid crank, and it didn't start. Big surprise. After doing some digging, I found out that the old wires and plugs were completely thrashed and broken. So I threw in a new $50 set of high performance red wires and a new set of $50 plugs. I fired it up again and it was finally running, but it was making some terrible noises. These engines are known for having faulty rocker arms that can explode and spit needle bearings into your engine. So just in case, I threw in a new set that cost about 300 bucks. And these have the awesome trunnion upgrade, so after lubing it all up, I reassembled it with ease. This seriously feels like I'm playing with Legos. Although this was a great upgrade, the noise did not go away. Now the second thing that these engines are known for is having faulty lifters. Easy fix. After removing everything in the engine bay, the entire exhaust system, cooling system, and disassembling the entire motor in the car, I pulled out the lifters. They all looked completely fine. At this point, I was starting to tweak out a little bit. After dropping the oil pan, it was filled with tons of metal shavings. After pulling a rod cap, I'm sad to say I think we found the problem. I think this engine is completely toast. After pulling it out and doing some more detective work, we found that all the bearings in the bottom end were shredded to bits. Someone ran this engine with no oil. The crank was trash from all the scoring, and even the pistons had dug grooves into the block. The cost of this budget project just went way up if I ever wanted to drive this thing on the road. After shedding a tear, I bought this brand used LS1 short block from a 2001 Corvette with only 58,000 miles on it. This cost me about 1,500 bucks. I guess there's no turning back now. And while we were in there, I decided this thing couldn't go back in without some upgrades. We decided to cam this LS, baby, with the whole cam kit costing about 1,100 bucks. I also got the heads from the previous engine flushed and a fresh valve job for about 400 bucks. After the whole engine was assembled back together with some trick parts, I started to regain some lost hope that this project would ever see the road again. The engine was looking good, and the Batmobile was ready for the new to me engine. Before plopping it in, we gave the engine bay a fresh coat of paint for about 50 bucks with some spray cans. Looks a whole lot better. I then dropped the engine back in, reused all the old good parts, and threw in this new $200 radiator with new fans. Before firing it all up, I found out the old brakes were leaking, so after shedding another tear, I threw in some rebuilt calipers that cost me about 600 bucks. Obviously some new rotors and pads as well, which go for about 700. After they were replaced and bolted on, not only did it look better, but I now have confidence so I don't crash this thing when we get it driving. Next up was this sick modern gauge kit that goes for about 900 bucks so we can make sure it's getting good oil pressure. The stock gauges no longer worked, so this was a must. Now it was time for the first startup. Boom, this thing sounds so good. After some light initial tuning, we got it back to the shop for the last two mods that I was the most excited for. I threw in this sweet full car suspension kit that cost about 1,200 bucks and a fresh set of wheels and tires that go for about 1,500 bucks. All the old suspension was completely blown out and the stock wheels and tires were cracking. And boom, just like that, this seemingly good marketplace find cost me a ton of money and time. Was it worth it? Of course it was. Comment down below what I should do to it next.